So today, we're going to dig into a new guide that's promising to be a real game changer for teachers across India. We're talking about using a powerful new assistant in the classroom, artificial intelligence, to tackle some of the biggest hurdles in education.
Yeah, that quote, it really hits home for so many teachers, doesn't it? That final bell isn't the end of the day. For so many, it's just the beginning of the second shift. The grading, the planning, all that endless admin work.
And get this, the numbers are just staggering. Teachers are losing 10, sometimes 20 hours every single week to these tasks. That is precious time and energy that should be going right back to what really matters, connecting with students.
All right, so what does this hidden burden actually look like in the real world? Let's break down the specific challenges that teachers are up against, day in and day out.
Okay, first up, you've got this absolute mountain of manual work. Just picture it. Piles and piles of notebooks, tests, assignments, all waiting to be checked, often stretching late into the night. Then, right there in the classroom, you have this constant battle for attention. I mean, how do you keep a whole class engaged when some kids are bored out of their minds and others are totally lost? It is a non-stop balancing act.
And hey, as if that wasn't enough to deal with, there's the growing pressure from parents and school management. Expectations are getting higher and higher, but the support and the training teachers need to actually meet them, it's just not there.
You know, when you put it all together, these daily struggles really boil down to three big systemic problems. You've got the crushing workload, a real crisis in student engagement, and that massive digital divide between schools with resources and those without.
And all of this, it leads to one huge, almost impossible question that every single teacher has to face. And here it is. How can one person with only so many hours in the day possibly give every single student the individual attention they need without completely burning out in the process? It feels like an unsolvable puzzle.
But what if there's an answer? This is exactly where this guide, AI-powered teaching, comes into the picture. It offers a real, practical roadmap to take on this very challenge.
You see, what makes this guide so powerful is that it's not generic. This isn't some one-size-fits-all thing. It's built from the ground up for the unique realities of Indian classrooms. We're talking large class sizes, intense exam pressure, and a huge range of resources from school to school.
And the promise here is, well, it's pretty compelling. The goal is to slash that paperwork time, get students excited and engaged, make personalized learning a real thing you can do every day, and this part is crucial, show teachers how to do all of it, even if they don't have a lot of tech.
Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? Let's pop the hood and look at the toolkit the guide actually gives you. All right, first things first, let's just demystify what we even mean by AI here. Forget about complex code or scary algorithms. For a teacher, the guide explains AI as a simple tool that's really good at recognizing patterns and generating text. You don't need to be a tech wizard. This is about using AI to draft a lesson plan, not learning how to program one. Here's a brilliant example of how this works. Think about grading. First, you, the teacher, set the rules, the rubric. Then the AI does the heavy lifting, drafting personalized feedback for each student based on what you told it to look for. But, and this is the most important part, you are always the final checkpoint. You approve it. You finalize it. The AI assists you. It doesn't replace you. Now this is where things get really powerful. The guide shows you how to use one simple prompt to create materials for a topic at 3 different levels. Think about that. You can finally challenge your fastest learners while also giving extra support to the students who need it, all without tripling your prep time. I mean, for any teacher trying to manage a mixed ability class, this is a total game changer.
Okay, but I know what you might be thinking. What about that digital divide we talked about? What if you don't have a computer for every kid? Well, the guide tackles this head-on with practical strategies to make these tools work anywhere.
And this is where the guide gets really practical. It lays out these offline-first routines. Like, you can use a single smartphone to download an entire week's worth of AI-generated worksheets. Or it gives you clever strategies for using just one tablet for group activities. This stuff makes these tools accessible even in rural or low-resource schools.
Look, I get it. This can sound overwhelming. So to make it all feel manageable, the guide lays out a simple 90-day plan. In the first month, you start small. Pick one tool for one task. By month 3, these new methods have become a sustainable, normal part of how you teach. It's about building habits that last, not some quick fix.
So, let's zoom out. What's the big picture here? What's the ultimate goal?
It's all about empowering teachers to become future-ready, to be fully equipped for whatever the modern classroom throws at them.
And the outcomes? Well, they're pretty clear. It all leads to more time for you, the teacher. It leads to better, more engaging classes, and it leads to happier students who feel like they're actually being seen and understood.
You know, there's this quote that just perfectly captures the whole idea. AI isn't going to replace teachers, but teachers who learn how to skillfully use AI, they're the ones who are going to stand apart. It's a tool to amplify your impact.
So let's just end on this one question from the guide. Seriously, just for a second, imagine getting back those 10, maybe even 20 hours every single week. What would you do with that time? Plan more creative lessons? Spend more one-on-one time with a student who's struggling? Or maybe just rest? It's a powerful thought to leave you with.